Oh my God, we are back for yet another edition of Grindhouse Chic. As always, I am Robert Schneider, and I am joined by Matt. I spent way too much on Black Friday Armstrong, and Brian Baldwin, who is aghast at how much Matt has spent on Black Friday.
Is this true?
You know what? It is true. Before we start, I'm gonna read something. I am going to go over everything that you bought because I am fascinated by it. First of all, you bought the New York Ninja limited edition screen print.
Yeah.
The Doll Squad, Mission Kill Fast, and the Lost Films of Herschel Gordon Lewis slips only. Then you got Bloodbeat with the comic slip and Tammy the T-Rex with the comic strip. And this one sickens me. The New York Ninja comic book that you spent $15 for.
It's got a site specific cover, man. That's available nowhere else.
Ugh. All right.
I might even read it. Who knows?
Don't get crazy now. Hold on. Dial it back.
All right. Then you got Minefield, which I got in today, which I'm excited to watch. Mind, Body, and Soul, which Brian said is a good movie. A second copy of Roadhouse.
Yep. I don't have to defend myself to you.
You do. Actually, not this one, but the next one you have to defend yourself to me. The Icarus Line Must Die, which it looks like a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
This one I've seen before, and I don't recommend it to anybody, but you bought it. The documentary on Tiffany's #1 fan, I Think We're Alone Now. I questioned you on this.
Oh, it's about that song?
Yes.
This one must have went completely over my radar.
Oh.
I didn't know. And you know what? I regret not buying it.
You can. I think you can watch it on Netflix or Hulu.
Okay.
The Good Book. Hold on, my vision sucks. Alyssa, Distant, Santo versus Dr. Death, Sworn to Justice. I have no problem with any of those.
Mm-hmm.
Vortex, Cutter's Way, White Reindeer. Again, something you could have watched on Netflix. Hellware, which I think is pretty interesting. How many copies of the Organian do you have?
I think the one I just ordered would now be my third copy that I have discovered I have here now.
I still need to watch that one. I actually had a friend ask me the other day if I'd seen it. I've heard it's very strange.
Did you get it?
No, I haven't picked it up.
You need a copy.
Matt, you should just.
This is right around the corner.
You should just send me one for Christmas. All right. This one is the most apt named disc of all. Green Jello Sucks Live.
Yeah. Been really holding back on that one for a while. Figured I would just pull the trigger.
God, I watched them live here in Knoxville only a couple of years ago. That was one of the most miserable show experiences I have ever had in my entire fucking life. And I have been to a lot of shitty shows. That band.
I saw them at their peak when they were Green Jello.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it still sucked. All right. The Time Bending Mysteries of Sharon Mockery. I own that. I haven't watched it yet. Delta Space Mission. The Unknown Man of Shandigor, which I hear is good. I Do Not Care If We Go Down in History as Barbarians, which I am not familiar with. The Agfa Shakarama, Flittus, The Little Hours, which you can watch on Hulu and Netflix. Velvet High, Summertime Blues. Quite possibly one of my favorite classic erotic films, Never Sleep Alone. And my other favorite classic erotica film, That's Outrageous. Only because throughout the whole movie you hear a song going, That's outrageous. Outrageous. Oh, hold on, there's more. Crap. Harlot, Tijuana
really
Blues. Pulsating Flesh, Super Sex, Sexual Heights, Undulations. Sexual Heights will disturb you. I don't want to go into it because I hope we get monetized at one point. Runaway Nightmare and Evil Come, Evil Go. And then a Al Bundy gift where you say you have no money.
Yes. Well, no more money.
Yeah.
And that was just from Vinegar Syndrome, right? What did you get from Suffering?
You know, I ended up not getting anything.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I remember the only other thing I got was I went on TerraVision's site and got Santa Claus.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's like nothing, you know?
That's fucking chump change, dude. Come on.
You know what? That's just one more movie my wife won't notice that I spent money on.
I was just about to say, I hope she doesn't watch this. Matthew!
Divorce.
Well, all those
No, honey, the pack of ramen could be broken up into 2 meals.
You know, funny thing, she actually voluntarily eats ramen, so if that ever happens, I think I'll be all right.
Ramen's delicious. I'll have it once a week. Just when I feel I need more sodium, I'll have some ramen. But
yeah, all those DVDs at the end I noticed were just getting really low, so I just scooped them.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I wonder if those are going to eventually, if the DVDs are eventually going to go out of print permanently from Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back in for another order. And actually, this was a really fun package. So you guys know I got mine in yesterday. Just bragging. Oh, wait, Robert, you got yours in too, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool, guys.
Yeah, there were so many things that I had ordered like over the last like couple of months that I'd have, not like it wasn't a mat list, you know what I mean? But Welcome Home, Brother Charles. That was a pleasant surprise. I forgot that I'd ordered that one. I did go back during the sale and pick up 3 Wakefield Pool DVDs because they were added to the going out of print section. Yeah, I love that lenticular for Invisible Maniac, by the way.
I did not get the lenticular.
Why? You didn't spend that $6, did you?
No.
Robert. Now
No,
see? You missed out, buddy.
I'm okay with it.
It's a beautiful slip. It's got boobies.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Because here's the thing. I didn't want to spend the money on something I didn't know what it was. And then after all the rumors, oh, this is going to be something that will get you first in line for the subscriptions, or it's not a real thing. And the fact that you had to wait so long for it,
yeah,
I thought was bullshit.
It was a long time, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I thought anyways, I thought a subscriber you were going to get it anyway, so I'm kind of upset.
I thought I read that. That's why I was kind of shocked when you said you didn't get it, because I thought they said if you were a subscriber, you were going to get it. If you spent the $6, then you would just get an additional one, which I only have the one. I don't have, the movie itself comes with the slip, but then the lenticular was like folded in the box.
In what? Maybe it was in the box. I might not have seen it. I'll have to go through. I didn't open the.
I thought subs just got the normal slip.
Oh, okay. Maybe I read it wrong.
So before we go into like some of the stuff that we watched this week, Matt, you sent me down a wormhole last night, a rabbit hole. I'm sorry. Of the 4 Flies 4K from Severin. People are getting it. I just want to let you know, you had me worried that there might have been another Cruel Jaws thing where Paramount was claiming ownership of it. But it's weird because they are saying it's only available during the sale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it's oh, that means I'm not going to get it. No. Yeah, they were saying
I passed on it.
Yeah, they were saying that Paramount had the rights, and then I saw other things saying that Arrow had bought the rights a couple years ago and was supposed to put it out, but something happened with Paramount, so they couldn't put it out. And then other people were saying that Severin was working with some old Italian guy in Italy with the rights, and that guy said, "Trust me, I own the rights. You can have them," and they listened to him instead of So who knows? I mean, I did see people posting like the original poster for the movie, and it does have a big old Paramount logo on it. So I don't know.
Huh. It's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess if people are getting them, then
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll get my order my shipping notification any day now.
yeah. But it could end up being like was that Synapse that was also putting out Thriller? And people got them, but then they had to stop selling them.
Mm.
Yes. Yes, but I would have thought that they would have, after the Drop Dead Fred and then Cruel Jaws fiasco. Now, I don't think the Cruel Jaws thing is in the same realm as this. It's because that Cruel Jaws uses footage from Jaws.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why Universal doesn't own the rights to it. They were like, you can't use it for this reason. It seems like Brian's dogs are upset about the Cruel Jaws and fiasco.
Oh yeah, I let them outside to play. It's I'm sure they found a bird or a poor little bunny or something. No animals will be harmed, but they are hounds. So.
Unless it's Cannibal Holocaust.
Hey.
All right. So let's talk about things we watched this week before we get into the very short, very epic thrill killers, as STECKVEMBER has transitioned into STECKVEMBER.
Yeah, we didn't think this one through very much. 20 films over the course of 4 weeks. We got this.
Oh, we're not doing all 20 films. We are going to go as
Thank
far
God.
as. In fact, I might say we might have to postpone some of the Steckler stuff until January, because we have some pretty big shows planned for the rest of the year. Though I think we could probably do Rat Think a Boo Boo next week, as long as we talk about our finds of the year. But we'll get to that at the end.
We have to knock out some holiday horror, you know. It's my favorite.
I'm Jewish.
Ooh, I'm just kidding. Wait, what?
All right, Brian, what have you seen? What did you watch this week?
Well, speaking of holiday movies, I will have to go back and rethink after this one. But we went to the theater last night and watched Violent Night, and it was so much fun. Probably, and keep in mind, this is a year where I got to see Jaws in theater, which has been an all-time dream of mine. It's been a good year, I think, for theater experiences for me. But this may possibly have taken the cake. The theater was packed. Everyone was laughing, applauding. It was such a fantastic time. It's one of those movies that just reminds you that sometimes simplicity and just going there, you know, like going to places that a lot of people are afraid to do anymore, that this is just I put it in my Facebook post. It's very fantastical. It's like it's fucking Santa Claus. It's magical, you know, being. You're going to mix that with some blood and guts and some great acting and humor. And it's just, I can't praise it enough. I mean, literally, the fucking theater applauded at the end. And I know every now and then you'll see that, but I did not expect it going into this. I was like, okay, hopefully this will be good. It was fucking beyond any expectation that I had.
It looks like Santa Claus meets Die Hard, but instead of a tower, it's a mansion.
It's yeah, I think the tag that they were giving it was Home Alone meets Die Hard. There's so much intentional nostalgia thrown into this film that it's like, I don't want to say much. Just watch it. Like I can't stress it enough. I thoroughly encourage you guys to watch it.
Would you say it was better or worse than when Goldberg was Santa?
Don't even go there. Don't even go there. Goldberg, not only the greatest one of my people currently alive today, but he is a man who had a record in WCW of like 900-0 until Kevin Nash used a cattle prod on him. Which might make him one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And if he heard you say that, you would hear two words no man wants to hear. who's next? And then each and every one of us will be pointing at you. My God. My God. All right, what else have you watched? Ryan, what else?
Well, I cracked into my VS box yesterday, and I threw on Moonstalker from the Homegrown Horrors Volume 2 set, and I loved it. That one, as soon as I read the description, I knew I was gonna love it, though, just simply for what it is. It's camping, it's snowy setting, it's everything I like in a horror film. It was a great way to start off my shipment. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
The movie we're going to talk about
All right
today.
All right, Matt, what about you?
Well, I just want to start by saying that second copy of Roadhouse is a gift for someone.
Is that someone yourself that you forgot that you already ordered it?
No, definitely not. So this week I watched a lot since we last talked. Mostly old movies, but I finally got to watch Smile and Barbarian.
Ooh.
Both really surprised me. I was expecting Smile to just be kind of a big crapshoot, but I thought it was really good. Have you both seen it?
I have not. I refuse to.
Yeah, I'm actually in the same position as Robert, but you may be changing my mind here.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, and there was this scene in there that had this shot that was one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen. So, and it really catches you off guard. Yeah, really good.
Smile.
Okay.
It's streaming now on Paramount Plus.
Yep. And then Barbarian, I feel was definitely the better made movie. I always forget how much I like Justin Long until I see him. But that one was really good. It kind of similar in one aspect as Smile, but I'll wait till you guys watch it.
Okay.
I watched some Christmas classics. I got Home Alone and A Christmas Story in. Made my brother watch Avatar for his first time ever.
Why would you do that to him? Why would you make him watch that long piece of shit?
Well, I was talking about the new one coming out soon, and he was like, "Oh, I've never even seen that." And I was like,
"Your brother was living a blissful life until you made him endure that Cameron's crap all over him."
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I remember when it came out, I was like, "Oh, this is incredible," and then watching it again. What is it now? 15 years later, almost.
It came out in 2009 because I just moved to Seattle and I went with my buddy Jeff from work to go see it, like on a Sunday morning, and he really liked it. I'm like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, there was some of the effects I think still hold up really well, but overall the movie was just kind of not as great anymore. And then I think the last one was the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
That was so much fun.
I could have done without it.
For me, it made up for Guardians Chapter 2, which I thought sucked.
What?
Yeah.
The thing that I really disliked about it was that it took away the best part of Guardians 2.
What?
Which was the most heartfelt moment in any Marvel movie, is when Peter finally finds out that Yondu cares about him, and then the holiday special was just like, oh, he knew all along.
I didn't care about that because I didn't think I think Guardians 2 is great. Oh, it's a terrible movie, but I really enjoyed the holiday special. Kevin Bacon deserves his own MCU movie.
Kevin Bacon was good, yeah.
I love the fact when he kept on calling his wife. Yet we did not get a cameo from Kira Sedgwick.
Yeah. I mean, it was all right, but I don't know. I don't really know what I was expecting going into it, but
it was basically just a Drax and Mantis special.
Yeah, Yeah, I feel like the whole point of it was to just put in that bombshell about Mantis so they can dive into that in the next movie.
Yeah, well,
Excuse me.
we saw the trailer for that, Indiana Jones and Mission Impossible, and the new Transformers movies all drop on the same day.
Man, are you guys excited about the Maximals and the Predacons?
For what?
No, just me. All right.
I'm
Just
not.
forget I said it.
I've never seen a Transformers movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm not really. I couldn't really get into them.
Well, this
Um,
one is not Michael Bay, if that helps.
Okay.
And it takes place like right after Bumblebee, like in the early 90s.
hmm
Huh?
Yeah.
You guys warming up to it?
No. No.
Keep going.
You guys didn't watch the Beast Wars show on
No.
like the WB in the mornings?
No. I don't like Transformers. Though I did it in the Guardians Holiday Special. I did appreciate the GoBots reference.
Yeah.
GoBots are my jam. All right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I did watch a lot because I basically did not leave the house during Thanksgiving weekend except for Thanksgiving. So I watched the new 4K restoration of Malcolm X.
Mm.
I forgot that movie was 3.5 hours long. Then I finally watched the 4K of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I'm sure at some point we're going to talk about it. So I'm just going to say, I think I like this one more than the original. It's just bonkers.
Like Brian just died a little inside.
No.
I
It's
love
something. It's something I've heard a lot, and I love the second film. I think I find it hard to really compare the two personally, but
and that's what I like about it. Because unlike most horror movies, it's not basically remaking it with just different characters. It took it in a whole different direction. And I love the fact that basically the chili was human meat and people were all cannibals on it. And I also love the fact that in the radio station they were playing the Cramps, which I found really weird because I've been watching the Wednesday show and the 4th episode where the iconic dance sequence where she's dancing to Goo Goo Buck by the Cramps. I think they're finally going to get the respect that they deserve by the greater masses.
You think 2023 is going to be the
year of the Cramps? Too bad.
instead of Kate Bush can go away and now it's the Cramps.
Yeah. All right. What else did I watched The House of Lost Women, which sent me down a Jess Franco rabbit hole. I then watched Moon of the Wolf, which let me just tell you, David Jansen really liked to wear that shirt unbuttoned quite a bit during the movie. I then watched
what I'm watching next.
I finally cracked open my Criterion copy of Brian De Palma's Sisters. Holy fuck, that movie is good.
I need to watch that.
Then went back to more Franco with Black Boots, Leather Whip, which I really enjoyed. It's basically a noir film with a lot of boobs and bush and a really good ending. Then I watched The Hunt, rewatched The Hunt, and then Vampires Lesbos and She Killed an Ecstasy, The Internship, and then what might now be one of my favorite releases from Vinegar Syndrome this year, The Iceman Cometh.
That's Hong Kong, right?
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
I want to get into those more.
Well, there's plenty of them for you to watch now. Then I watched a movie that came out from Scorpion that I ordered a while back, Pretty Smart, which is Patricia Arquette's first movie. And it was something I used to watch on USA Up All Night all the time. And then on other cable channels where it had all the boobs in it. And man, this movie is so wrong, but it's still so funny. And then I got in on the first. I got in my Massacre video order so I watched Portraits of Andrea Palmer. It was the first adult film that felt like an adult film in a long time. Like it's not like a porno that you enjoy in the way you normally enjoy pornos, but The sex is there. It's not sexy. It's just some of it's just disgusting and wrong. But it's co-directed by Joe Rubin from Vinegar Syndrome, and
Oh, so it's like a newer movie?
came out in 2018
Oh.
and shot on 16 millimeter.
Hmm.
Then I watched Santo versus Frankenstein's Daughter last night, and a whole bunch of Little Rascal shorts from the new Centennial set, which is weird because I do own the first three of the classic flicks things, and I thought these were just a direct dump under a different label, but no, they've changed the order. There's a whole ton of special features on it. The only thing that sucks is 4 of the discs come stacked.
Hmm.
And then I watched Santo versus Dr. Death before we recorded.
Nice. That's a lot. I did forget that I binge watched Dahmer. I kept hearing so much stuff about it. I was like, I'll give it a go, and I actually knocked it out in a couple of days. Have you guys watched it?
No, I lived it.
I actually.
Which
Okay,
which role?
I don't know. I don't know. What?
I watched the first I think 3 episodes. That's all
It
the
was
further I've
pretty
gotten.
damn good, honestly.
Yeah.
There's a couple episodes that I thought were just sort of but overall, yeah. I know a lot of people, like my wife, thought I was crazy. She was like texting me when she was at work, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm on episode 4 now of Dark." She's like, "How are you binging that fucking show?" I was like, "Honey, there's a lot about me you don't know."
I made a promise to myself to not binge shows anymore. So like with Wednesday, I'm watching an episode every couple of days of it.
I've heard that's great, by the way. I haven't got around to it yet, but
It's from the creators of Smallville and Tim Burton.
Mhm.
Yet somehow it still works.
I didn't know it was the Smallville people.
Yeah, it is. It feels like a show that could have been on the CW, but except they fuck quite a bit in it.
In
So
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, I must not have got to that part yet.
I also watched another movie. I still have to log it on Letterboxd. It was called I can't remember. It did star Jenna Ortega from X and Wednesday, and it's about a school shooting. I had to watch it over several days because it's about the trauma of it, and it's on HBO Max. I think it's called The Fallout. Yeah, The Fallout, and it's a horrible film. Like, I'm glad I did not grow up when school shootings were all the rage, or that happened way too often. And that girl's going to be a star.
I'm not familiar with that movie, and that sounds. I mean, it sounds depressing, but
It is.
It sounds interesting, though.
The trailer popped up on my YouTube feed. That's because I don't know why, but it popped up. Probably because my Google Home has heard me talk about Wednesday a few times. So YouTube is owned by Google, and then I just been fed stuff. But no, it popped up on there. I'm like, huh, when is this movie coming out? Then I went to Just Watch and saw it's on HBO, and I'm like, all right. But it's not a movie I could watch I could not watch it all the way through because it's not an easy movie to sit through. So again, before we get into the movie we're going to talk about, I wanted to bring up something interesting I noticed. Usually during the sales, you have a lot of people showing off what they bought in the groups. This year, that did not happen. It happened a little bit, but it was mostly people complaining about the MSRP and how expensive things were.
Now that you mention it, it makes me feel kind of weird because I'm generally glued to the groups around this time, and I have not paid a lick of attention. So I don't know what anyone's talking about.
A lot of people were upset because it seemed like they raised the MSRP on stuff.
Yeah, they were saying that even the like half off price if you get the if you get the slips, it was like higher than it ever is. I don't know if in the past, I can't remember if it was a different price if you got the slip version or the standard version when they would both be in stock.
It was.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw someone saying something about that, but I couldn't remember if it was or not. But yeah, I saw a lot of that. I didn't really see anyone, like you said, posting their pages and pages of stuff.
So do you think we've hit that point in the history of Vinegar Syndrome where people are going to start turning against the company and looking for the next hot thing?
I don't necessarily think anyone will turn against them. I just think that with their introduction to all the partner labels and just the simple fact that collecting tends to be or seems to be kind of a fad at this point, I think people are just seeing that there's a lot of options that are out there, you know, which there are. There's way too many for me to keep up with.
And nor should you even try it. It's like with Terrorvision. I don't think I'll miss them as a label.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll probably order some stuff from them if I want to spend the money, but or like this, yesterday I ordered my first Deaf Crocodile movie because it's a blaxploitation film.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, right now, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest problems with Vinegar Syndrome. Like you were saying, Matt, you didn't notice any of like the partner label stuff going way too fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually I'll jump in and hurry up and grab stuff that's limited to like 1,000 because it usually goes pretty fast. But I mean, we're day 3, which sounds stupid, but but none of them are really moving. There's been a couple in the past couple months that would be almost gone the next day.
Yeah, like
the only one that I've been checking the numbers on are Bat Pussy, so I can finally see the damn thing. I think that's actually the only one that. Now, granted, I haven't really gone and clicked around and read what each one of them are about, but that's the only one that I think I'm going to buy.
I bought Solomon King because I've heard nothing but good things about that movie, and it seems like they are loading that with extras. The Devil's Menagerie, I had
contributed $60 to the restoration of that, so you're welcome.
Thank you. I after I watched the trailer for Devil's Menagerie, which I had to go search for on YouTube, and thankfully VHS Hitfest put it out there. That movie looks bonkers. But if it's not good, this will be my last one from them. And then I ordered the Culture Shock one and the other AGFA title that shot an 8mm. But
the Black Crystal.
Yeah.
So is that, I didn't watch the trailer for that, but it has the exact font as the Dark Crystal. Is it some sort of like exploitation knockoff kind of, but not fantasy?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't know. So let me ask you this. Do you think partner label month in December is ridiculous? Especially coming a week after people have spent so much money.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they do it, just to, have a chance to get all the sale stuff out, but I don't know. I almost think it might just be better to just not have releases in December. Give people a break, especially if you're going to start the new subscription in January now. But the other side of that is, you're getting a month's less. Well, no, that wouldn't matter because you're not going to get releases anyway. So
I think it was just smarter when they released the 2 adult titles in December. Now, do you think there are too many partner labels?
Well, it depends
As
if you're a normal person or if you're a person like me.
yeah, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. As a person who is intrigued by wanting to watch anything that I haven't seen before, yeah, you know, again, to say it like, well, holy crap, I can't keep up with all these. But I mean, uh, more options, I think, is always better. I mean, I'm happy for people that can or have restraint and, you know, can just pick the couple that they want, you know, and move on. I don't know. I guess yeah, that's all I can really say. I think it depends on who you are.
See, I find it really hard, like, to want to spend money on a Russian fantasy film.
Ooh, it's one of my favorite of this year.
That was Deaf Crocodile, right?
Hmm. Two of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not my thing. Or like the film KFC, and I was on the fence on that one because I do like
Picked it
KFC.
up. I haven't watched it though. Because I do like KFC.
No,
I
but
was pissed when I opened mine. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's the gravy? Where's the biscuit?
movies don't come with gravy, Brian.
They should.
No, no, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. But no, it's like there's too much. And I was talking to a friend of ours who isn't subscribing next year, and I was like going, 2021, I almost didn't subscribe in 2022 because, you know, one of the reasons I started collecting Vinegar Syndrome was because of the Picorama discs, and the horror was just a bonus. But so far, I think 2022 might be one of the best years film wise that they've had.
Yeah.
And I think 2023 is going to be even better with a lot more Shout Factory reissues.
Yeah.
Or Scream Factory reissues.
I'm excited for all the they said they're gonna do a bunch of Hong Kong stuff, so I'm excited to see that. I'm thinking that I'm kind of of the mindset we might get a Rikio 4K, which I would be pretty pumped about.
I don't think so, because it was Rikio Golden Harvest.
I don't remember. I know I got the one that 88 just put out, but it was region B only. So
Okay, because it looks like Vinegar Syndrome just has a deal with Golden Harvest.
Okay.
That I do not know.
Which means, and same thing with Criterion. So it seems like them and Criterion are going to be splitting some of the catalog. I guarantee you Criterion will get the John Woo films, and we'll get the lesser films from the catalog.
Looks like it is Tokyo Shock.
Okay, so that's Japanese, not Hong Kong.
Oh, I thought it was a Hong Kong.
I've never seen Rikio.
So good.
It is very good. I don't know how I'd feel about upgrading to 4K so quickly, but I would pick it up. I would pick it up. But
yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna get a lot of the weirder. Well, we're gonna get a lot of the weirder Golden Harvest, Choi Hark stuff, and I'm okay with that as long as we get the bride with white hair. I'll be happy.
I think I asked this before, but are you happy that like Vinegar Syndrome is the label putting these out, or would you rather see I don't know, like I don't want to say another partner label, but someone who does specifically these titles put these out?
I'm happy anyone's putting them out because they've been ignored on Blu-ray for quite a while.
Yeah.
And if that means someone's going to put out a Better Tomorrow trilogy, I'm happy about that. That means we're getting a 4K of The Killer and Hard Boiled. I'm okay with that. So if we finally get a Blu-ray of Swordsman 2, I'm okay with that. It's just that these have been relegated to either edited versions, like The Naked Killer from when it came out through whoever put it out domestically, that we're finally going to get some of these category 3 films out there.
Mm-hmm.
That we're going to get some of these action films out there. Like a couple weeks ago, Criterion released the Infernal Affairs trilogy.
Yep.
Which only the first one is really any good. And The Departed is actually a better version of it than the original. But I don't know. I'm glad it's just another pivot for Vinegar Syndrome. But when we see Severin do it, or when we see Synapse do it, I mean, that's where the market is. That's probably where the money is right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I don't know how many Z-grade horror films that you can put out that people still want. Because eventually they're gonna get hit a wall of what else is there that we can put out that we can actually make money on.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like the just reissuing Shout has been pretty successful so far.
And Blue Underground just reissuing their stuff has been their business model. So speaking of which, again, I'm just trying because we don't have really that much to talk about with the movie this week. What are your thoughts on upgrading to 4K on your current collection? Brian, let's start with you.
I feel like we've tackled this one before. You know, if it's a title that I do not already own, then I will automatically, of course, get the 4K. As far as specifically upgrading, I've kind of just been doing it with my favorites so far. I'm not worried about getting every single upgrade out there, but like Black Christmas upgrade, I bid all over that because that's one of my favorite films. I've seen that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is getting one pretty soon, so I'll upgrade that one. Just kind of picking which ones.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, as I was telling Matt last night, every time I go to Best Buy, I see the Return of the Living Dead 4K on the shelf, and I'm like, do I want to buy it? And every time it's like, no, I'd rather spend the money on something else.
I did get that one.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. I just think the Blu-ray still looks better in the slipcase.
Do you want more of it?
And I think I like the slip cover of the Blu-ray better than the slip cover for the 4K.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
And somehow all the 4Ks from Shout Factory always have that grease on it.
Yeah, I don't know. What would they call that? Off gassing or something? It seems weird because none of the other labels have that.
Vinegar
the gravy I was talking about. There it is.
All right. On that note, let's talk about Ray Dennis Steckler's disc 3 of his Severin box set, The Thrill Killers, starring. Hold on, let me. Talk amongst yourself.
I was supposed to say it's.
So Brian, do you like beef gravy, chicken gravy, turkey gravy? What's your preference?
I like gravy, Matt.
Gravy's good. All
My
right.
favorite is sausage gravy.
Ooh, I didn't list that one. Dang.
All right. 3 psychotic murderers escape from a mental institution and stalk women in Los Angeles. While that is not true, they're in the outskirts of LA. Starring Ray Dennis Steckler, I'm sorry, Cash Flag as Mort Mad Dog Click, Liz Rainey as Liz Sexton, Joe Bardo starring as using the alias Brick Bardo as Joe Saxon, Carolyn Brandt is Carol, Gary Kent is Gary Barcroft, Herb Robbins is Herbie Click, Keith O'Brien is Keith, Laura Benedict is Linda, the only one who is not using her real name as a character name. Ron Burr is Ron, and then a bunch of and Atlas King as the very important character of Dennis Kazdekian. At 1 hour and 10 minutes, this film packs a lot in. It's the story of a failed actor, the story of a businessman, the story of a woman who owns a diner, the story of an actor's wife turned painter, the story of 3 psychotics who escaped from a mental institution, the story of a psychotic who is killing people in and around the Los Angeles area, and the story of a couple who just bought their first home. There's a lot going on in this movie.
Huh?
And what I like best about it, well, there's several things I like about this movie, is when the movie starts, we get that Twilight Zone type opening narrator talking about the actor as he goes about his day, talking about all the things he bought and owns, and he needs that role just to afford them. And then we have him call his wife, who it seemed like she was already an established actress who quit it all to become a painter. They have a really, really nice house. And he had to call her to tell her that he did not get the role. Then we cut to Dennis Kazdekian, a Greek immigrant, played by Atlas King, whose only other role was Cash Flag's buddy in The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies. As a businessman and a father of way too many kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids.
As he goes out on his day to work, decides to pick up a hitchhiker played by Cash Flag, who just shoots him. Leaves him on the side of the road and takes his car. We then go to the actors having a wild party at his place. His wife is worried about money and how can they afford this. And then we meet Arch Hall Sr. and Mr. Morgan, 2 film producers who look like they're about to double team the girl who's sitting between them on the couch.
That's what this movie was missing.
And his yes man, who would just agree with him. You got it, sir. You're the best, sir. As they're totally ripping Joe apart for his role in a movie. Oh, your acting's good. This movie just sucked.
Yeah.
And then you also had the guy at the bar who was acting drunk, who I wish they gave him booze to drink, because then I might have believed that he was a drunk. All right. And then I might have the order wrong. We then cut to Cash Flag, who hires a taxi dancer for $50 to go back to her place, and then he kills her. Then
my favorite segment of the movie, by the way.
It's a great segment. Then they're going to bed, and we hear the story of the 3 psychotic guys who escaped from a mental institution. Cut to the diner. There's a loving couple there. They just bought their first house. The actor's wife comes in, and there's a shrine to the actor in the bar with the poster of The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Became Mixed Up Zombies. I can't. Fuck it.
3 times fast. Go.
Who Stopped Living Became Mixed Up Zombies, which he was not in. At least I don't think he was. And then we cut to them going to the house while she talks about her husband, blah, blah, blah. And Linda just has weird looks on her face. Like she covets her cousin's husband. Then we go to the farm and we find out the owner of it has been decapitated. We find out one of the killers doesn't like doors closed. And then they kill them after a little chase. Blah, blah, blah. Then the woman's husband and Mr. Morgan show up at the diner. He's looking through some weird magnifying glass to see the aesthetics of it, but he's just checking out Linda. The three psychopaths come in. One of them holding an axe, where the wife goes, "Do you think those are the guys we heard about on the radio?" They order some beers. One of the guys goes crazy because the door is closed. Then one of them calls his cousin, who is the crazed killer, or it was his cousin or brother, can't remember.
I think brother. Yeah. Yep.
Who just, weird coincidence, but I guess crazy runs in the family, and he'll take money to come out. Guy steals money from the cash register. Things go to hell. They kidnap the woman. They chase her. She gets rid of a couple of the psychopaths, then gets in a car with Cash Flag. Another chase ensues. Her husband rescues her. The other psychopaths are caught by the police. Oh, some police die. And then he decides, I'm going to give up. They're going to go on vacation. I'm going to give up acting. Then Mr. Morgan calls and says, "Hey, you're going to be the star of my new movie, $5,000 a week, 10-week guarantee. You're going to star with Miss Transylvania." Then his wife goes, "Who's Miss Transylvania?" I don't know. And it's her cousin, because she begged Mr. Morgan. And that, my friends, is thrill killers under 5 minutes.
Which is that's the better way to experience the movie.
What are you talking about? This movie had everything.
I fucking hated this movie.
How could you?
I hated this movie. An hour and not even 10 minutes, by the way, an hour and 9.
And some odd change, yeah.
Felt like a fucking eternity to me. When it started, I really liked, you kind of put it a good way there, like almost like a Twilight Zone kind of a feel to it. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And all the way up until the point where you said, you were talking about how the Greek immigrant was driving, picked up the hitchhiker, Ray Dennis Steckler, and shoots him. After that, I found the movie just to be completely fucking boring. I did enjoy, like I said, the one scene where he's in the apartment with the lady the Scotch lady. She's prying open that drawer to get out a bottle of scotch. What I specifically liked about that, so you're in this tiny little apartment, and he grabs his pair of scissors, and he's going to go after her to kill her. And I really like the whole decision of, like, it doesn't really make sense, I guess, but the lights keep going like on and off. And you just sort of, have this kind of tense moment with him, approaching her with these scissors. I thought that was pretty cool.
She was a taxi dancer.
Okay. Taxi dancer.
Yeah. Do you know what a taxi dancer was? Or was?
I have zero idea. I was hoping you would.
I'm going to educate you on this one. Taxi dancer was a thing like in the 30s, 40s, and up until the 80s. I'm going to tell you how I know this. That
I used to be one.
No. So basically what they would do is they would have these women that you could pay to dance with. They were called taxi dancers. I don't know why. Maybe because taxi drivers went in there, or taxi drivers took you there. But when I was a kid, there was an expose on it on Channel 7 in Detroit. And someone I went to middle school with, his mom was a taxi dancer because they interviewed her on the TV.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And also the song Private Dancer from Tina Turner. In the video, she's a taxi dancer as well.
Okay.
But this woman was also a whore.
Very abrasive. Okay.
Well, yeah, $50.
Yeah.
But that was early 1960s money, which is like probably 15,000 today.
I did love her reaction to he slaps her, or hits her, whatever. She's like, "Hey, why you gotta do a thing like that for?"
That's an extra $20.
Oh, back when times were simpler, I could just. I don't know, I thought it was a very weird. Actually, now that I'm talking about it, it's kind of a sad reaction. She's probably used to that. Okay, that retracts. Yeah.
So again, I think the problem that you have, and please tell me if I'm speaking for you, is this movie does feel like 3 or 4 different movies in it.
mean, it could be that. I found the again. I don't know, man. I wish I could pinpoint. I kept checking the runtime. I was like, Jesus, like I felt the chase scenes, which granted, are mostly there towards the end of the film. I thought they just took way too long. I was impressed with how the painter wife managed to outrun the the very fit gentleman who was chasing her over mountains and rocks and dirt mounds. She was in high heels and she still managed to stay ahead of him. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Um,
It's probably
it could be that, Robert. It could be that it was just like it never really gave you anything to hang on to because it just kept twisting and turning so much, which when I say it out loud, sounds like, well, how on earth would you have time to be bored? But somehow I was. I just, I don't know.
Again, I think this is the problem that we talked about in the last episode is that he does not work from a script.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he has a location and goes, oh, what can we do here?
Yeah.
And that's not a good way to make a movie. But then again, these movies were never meant to be high art. These were meant to be drive-in fare. I mean,
Sure.
this was either on a double or triple bill, which you could tell by the hour and 10 runtime for it.
That's kind of something I was gonna ask about. Going back to the first scene of the movie where we're kind of introduced to the two men. I was gonna ask how deep do you think Steckler gets with like his meanings in any of these? Do you think he like at all?
I think the meaning of all right, I'm just going to read into it, and this could be complete bullshit. That both of those characters were him. Here's a guy who is trying to make it, probably living well beyond his means,
Mm-hmm.
to the person he should have been, or like his friends and family, like, hey, just get a real job. You have kids. You need to start being true to them, like
Yeah,
not living this hand to mouth existence.
I kind of thought the same thing. Um, because I thought it was weird where, he introduces the two people almost identically, other than, one is like a higher class and one's like a middle class kind of guy. Um, I thought it was interesting that the middle class guy is the one who ends up dying, and it's almost like how you were saying, I feel like he was kind of like, oh, I'm killing off this version. I don't want to do what people tell me to do. I want to do
Mm.
this thing. And then the wife later on in the movie says something like, um you can't differentiate reality from the characters you play. She's like says it to the actor. And I thought that was interesting. I didn't know if that was kind of his way of explaining like himself a little.
It probably was, but I mean, it was pretty obvious that this was what he was going for. That those two characters represented him.
Mm-hmm. But this, like Brian was saying, there is a lot going on, and I watched this movie again this morning, and I feel like this movie would have benefited a lot more without Steckler's character in it. Because I thought the three murderers were amazing. Like they all had like really cool little quirks about them. They acted really well. The guy with the axe was my favorite.
Didn't know what a pop top was.
Yeah. He had some weird fascination with like hair. um but it just kind of seemed like Steckler's character was just kind of, I don't know, just kind of thrown in there. I think that they could have spent the extra time with the three guys.
Again, I have a feeling that was an entirely different movie,
Mm-hmm.
and because he needed to make this movie longer, he added this character in from film footage that he shot from something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like the parts where he's riding around a horse like a cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole last scene where where they just went to like the mountainside or whatever and did the like 20-minute chase. I feel like an ending would have been better if it was like an enclosed area with the three killers, and they were trying to escape from some building, but they were getting hacked up by the killers. I don't know. I thought it could have been. I just thought it could have been better without Steckler in this one, and I think that's the first time so far from the movies we've watched where I've felt that way.
I see. I enjoyed it, and I kind of like the way that he decided to bring his character into it, because it seemed like that guy was in a whole different reality than the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is the problem you have when you work without a script. Like, who knows like how long that stuff was filmed after the original stuff.
Right.
Because I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong, that Steckler and the three psychopaths never shared a scene together.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, they didn't.
So that tells me they were probably filmed at different points.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe he went back in after and added his stuff because I don't know. I feel like part of the characters of the psychopaths was they weren't like really killing for the thrill. They were just like clearly mentally unstable, and
the word is insane. They were
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he just had to throw himself in there to be the actual thrill killer.
Well, he was the only one who got a thrill from killing.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I like this better than the last one, the incredibly mixed up.
Mhm.
Stopped living and became mixed up zombies.
Going back to the party, I thought it was hilarious that the actor who owned the house, like right in the middle of the party, people just drive into his house on a motorcycle, and he just looks out and he's just like,
Yeah. I've really made it now.
Well,
and they drive it into the pool.
It's funny because in the movie Retribution, which if you haven't rented it from got it from Severin yet, you need to. Someone does the same thing in that they ride their motorcycle into an apartment, which thinking about it might be an homage to this movie. But no, I thought that was great. I mean, the party sequence to me was the best part of the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just did it go to weird places? Yeah. But did I enjoy it? Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I wanted to. I really did. I even, sat there for a minute after the film was over and just kind of like, am I being too judgmental on it? Maybe I'm not in the right headspace, but like, I don't see myself ever revisiting it. I don't know. I wish I could have enjoyed it.
So, Brian, how many decapitated farmers would you give this movie?
Like the beginning, like the taxi girl scene, a couple little humorous parts here and there that kind of got me. I'd say 1.5.
Okay. Matt, how many decapitated farmers would you give this movie?
I think this is the first one that we've covered where I'm exact opposite of Brian on everything. I'm going 4. This is my favorite one so far. And it's funny that you just said that. I think this is the one out of the 3 we've watched that I will put in again and watch. And that's me after saying I just watched it this morning. So I'm gonna go 4. There was a lot I liked. Just the one part where I thought Steckler's character kind of muddied the movie a bit, but I really liked it.
I will go with 3 because it wasn't a perfect movie. Watching it a second time, there were things I definitely noticed this time that I did not notice the first time, like Arch Hall Sr. and Morgan, who is the producer of this movie, getting ready to double team that girl for a role.
A casting couch, baby.
And the first time I did not notice it was the woman's cousin that owned the diner was Miss Transylvania.
Mm.
And I'm like, all right, that makes sense because the way he was ogling her and she was ogling him.
She had a real Aubrey Plaza vibe.
Yes.
It's her grandmother.
Is it?
No.
God, I'd believe
I
that.
would have believed it. Yeah.
But you know what? It's this one and the next one, I think, are the last great Steckler films. And that's not true. There's one that's coming up that I think is pretty good too, but we're not getting there for a while. But I don't know. I enjoyed this one. It made up for the previous one, which I still think is a total utter piece of trash. And Wild Guitar is still my favorite.
Yeah, I did really enjoy Wild Guitar. I feel like this one I can see myself watching more.
Did you notice the music from Wild Guitar was playing in this?
No.
At the party of the record, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that either.
Which creates what I call the Steckler verse, where all the movies are connected some way or another. So in this one, we had the music of Wild Guitar, which connects Wild Guitar to Thrill Killers. We also know in this world, the incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies was a film that existed that the guy starred in, even though I don't think he was in it. Yet the guy who died was in it. So it kind of connects those two. In the Lemon Grove Kids, one of the characters is said to have been in some Steckler movies, and Carolyn Brandt, who is in this one as well, has appeared in them. So it's just a weird thing of how these movies have all kind of become meta, and he sets up his own universe.
Yeah, and I remembered in the last one we watched, the dancer who started drinking all the time.
Yeah,
she has a Wild Guitar poster hanging up right by her little like mirror table.
That I did not notice.
Yeah, this might be better than the MCU.
Come on. Come on. So I want to talk about next week's show. Our next episode hopefully will be next week. I kind of want us to do our film discoveries of the year. Like movies that we watched that we had that were not theatrical releases. So like whatever the one, Violent Night can't be one of it, but it has to be like older films that we've discovered either through streaming or repertory showings, or things that we picked up on Blu-ray that just completely, utterly wowed us.
Okay.
And let's just do our 10 for that. We'll take a break from Steckler because I need a break.
Thank you.
We'll be back with Steckanuary.
Yep. Yeah, we will. In fact, let's just do that. We're ending them for the year, and then we're coming back strong with Rat Think of Boo Boo and the Lemon Grove Kids.
Okay. So.
But I think I really like the idea of just talking about just our film discoveries of the year.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if some of us will have the same movies on our list.
Well, Dead Heat.
Come on. You guys have seen that one before, so it can't. We've all seen it before, so it doesn't count.
We discovered it in a new way, though, in 4K.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That movie still sucks, no matter how many K it's in. That movie sucks. God damn it. Yeah. Now that come out this year? Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it feels like a lot longer, but yeah.
This is the year Joe Piscopo's career died again.
Did he die?
No. This movie just reminded us that it killed Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo's career. All right. So we'll be back next time in a week. And then I understand some of our lost episodes are going to be popping up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So continuity be damned. You're going to see some lost episodes of us discussing Scream. And what else?
We've got a double billing of Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some Halloweens in there.
Oh, yeah.
I think just one. That might be it.
Yeah. We're going to get those up. We're going to be back next week with our film discoveries, and I won't be as tired as I am right now.
Oh, you are forgetting one important thing.
What?
Robert? I happen to remember a promise that was made.
Yes. We we have reached 51 subscribers, and I need to learn the song. And Brian, can you play it on guitar so I can have a musical accompaniment?
I can try.
All right. All right. That way I don't have to do. So I will be doing the song from Champagne and Bullets at the start of the new year. I just need to learn it. I should have been practicing all along because I never thought we'd get to 51 subscribers. Help us get to 100, and Matt will do something that embarrasses him.
I will.
Actually, what he will do is he will recite scenes from the movie Summer Camp Girls.
Right.
What do you mean by recite? Is this just a full body experience?
Just do the dialogue out of context.
Matt in 4D.
All right, guys. With that vision in your head, we will see you next week. Have a good one.
Yes.
And don't forget to hit subscribe and like and share with your friends because we need viewers. We need to get monetized. Brian needs a new pair of glasses.
I do, actually. These are all scratched up.
Damn it. We'll see you guys next week.